Boot campers, we are coming at you live, pets and all. Bob Barker is making an appearance. We got Lola girl in the house, my girl Lindsay
Lola in the house.
and we are going to be talking all things stories today, getting more eyes on your stories on social media, getting more people engaging with you. My girl Lindsay, this is like something that she is a master at. So you're going to want to bust out those notebooks to take notes. If you are catching us live right now, or if you catch this later, be sure to tag anyone in the group. Let them know that this training's in here. Lindsay did this for me a few months ago and like literally helped people fire up their stories, reignite their stories, get into tons of conversation. So I'm excited to have her here and to be a guest trainer, guest speaker, guest interviewee / she's my BFF, you guys. Like we met working online and we have the privilege. I'm in Jersey, she's in Virginia. We get to hang out on Zoom and shoot the shit and do all the things. And then she just got engaged. So she's going to be planning a wedding. I'm so excited. But a little bit about her so that you guys know who the heck you're talking to. She is busy, right? She has a business that she recently started. I don't have her fairy hair in, but she does this like tinsel hair. Hers is all up in there, the sparkle. If you're in the Virginia area, you need to go connect with her.
Ooh, look at this side right now.
Ooh, I love it. That's like one business she runs. She's also a bartender a few nights a week, like a bomb ass bartender. She used to bartend on the West Coast, the East Coast. She's like literally
20 years this year, Carrie.
Oh my gosh, you guys, like, does she even look like she's like 25? Did you start bartending when you were 5 years old? Like
18. In Pennsylvania, you can start bartending at 18.
Wow. Well, that's
so I went to cosmetology school, but had a job bartending, getting me through that. And then I graduated cosmetology school and just kept bartending because I was making so much money.
Yeah, insane. She's like, let me just tell you, she's a rock star. So she has those things going on. She has her Walk It Out foundation shirt on. That's like another thing that she has going on. So she's busy, to say the least. Like she has a lot going on. She's using texting on the back end to communicate with like not only her network marketing team and customers, but her fairy hair people. I'm going to let her talk about that. But today she's really going to dial it in to start and talk about stories and getting like these people clicking and the eyeballs and the conversations because she's a freaking master at it. So I don't want to do any more talking. I'm going to let you take over and share all the goods. I'm going to bust out my notebook and I don't know, I'm sure I'll ask you questions as you go.
Yeah. So stories, literally, I mean, I would say 90% of my online biz, that's where I get legit almost all of my sales is through my stories. And creating conversations through those stories and then turning them into text lists, right? So like, it seems like a lot, but it's really not. And it's actually super fun because reels, all of that is one thing, right? Like you can see who likes, who comments and all of that. But in your stories, you can see everybody who views them. Like not just the people who are like liking and loving and commenting like, ha, ha, ha. Like you're literally watching every single person who's watching every story that you have. Like stories are gold. I can't say enough about having a story. If you have any type of business, it doesn't just have to be like online stuff. Stories and short videos are the bomb, and you can put the reels into your stories. Like it's just endless. Like it's literally endless, and it's fun because you can have like your value and your important things that you want to post on your walls or our timelines, whatever we call them now. But then we can use our stories as like the backstage of our life, like the fun stuff and like the weird stuff and like constantly having people want to be like, what the heck is Carrie doing today? Like, you know, does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I'm happy she said that, you guys, because it makes sense. And I had a moment, like an epiphany moment one day with exactly what she just said. How many famous people do you follow? Do you follow famous people? If you follow someone famous that's fun, drop it in the comments because I'll go scope them out.
We want to know.
Yeah, like, but you follow famous people and what do? On their main Instagram page or on their Facebook feed, they're sharing like, you know, what they're promoting, what they're doing, where their next
accomplishments.
But in their stories is where they're doing what they're eating, behind the scenes, what they're wearing, like they're talking to you and you feel like you actually get to hear their voice, like their personality, right? So like Lindsay said, it helps us do that with our people. And you guys, before she goes on, I want you guys to be honest. Like, do you post stories every day? Do you have a story up all the time? Like, drop it in the comments. Do you do that? Number one. Number two, do you hang out in stories at all and like look at people? Do you go behind the scenes in their lives and like check them out? Because some people I've noticed don't even know that stories exist. So good.
That's really where I watch most. I'm not like a scroller per se. Like I will scroll people's stories because I also like, once you comment or like and love on other people's stories, they're going to come back and check you out. So if you're trying to promote something or have value of some sort or get people into your groups or checking out your products, you can do all of that. For one, I never really post about product on my page unless like something big is coming or like I'm doing a giveaway or whatever. I save all of that for my stories because we can get fun and we can get kind of spammy and make like commercials within our stories, right? Like
100%.
And what's funny is, so I'm known for like finding kind of pervy pics, right? Like they're hilarious to me. Like if you follow me or if you're going to start following me, you'll see it's like sausages that look like something else or fingers, like funny things, right? And I have found, and actually thanks to Carrie, this is kind of how this all started, because back in the day, what was this, 2 years ago? Or was it a year? No, it was longer than a year ago.
I think so, yeah.
My story traction got down. And I was like, man, like, what's going on? Like, I'm funny. Like, I do dumb shit. Like, I do really dumb stuff and I talk about it because I have no shame. Like, I'll tell people what I do. But, like, I was posting every day. I was starting my stories. I always have it right here. My Grat journal. Like, this one's full. I don't even use this one anymore. It's done. But, like, that was my first story every day because I thought being consistent and being held accountable was attractive, which it is. But not to click on a story at the top of the page. Because remember, your stories run at the top. So like if you go to your Facebook, like that's what you see at the top of your Facebook feed. Yeah, exactly. Right there. So Carrie said, well, Linz, you're posting this book every day. Like, we know it's a great book. We know that it can do this, that, and whatever. And gratitude is amazing. Like, you gotta start your days of gratitude or end your days of gratitude or both. But how's that enticing somebody to click your story? Because I had really good shit after that, right? But no one cared because they're like, oh, Lindsay's reading that book again. Does that make sense? Like, pop that in here, like having something to attract people. And what do people love, especially right now? Funny stuff, like, is probably the number one thing. And like people thinking that they're seeing something that they're not seeing, and then they click, they're like, oh, Lindsay, you're an idiot. Like, where did you get that picture? And what's happened, because people are watching me so much these past, I don't know, months, people are sending me stuff. So like when you're seeing like my sausage picture that I posted yesterday in my story, a friend sent it to me because she was like, dude, every time I see stuff like this, like it reminds me of you. Like, check this one out. You know what I mean? And you want people to know you or like someone. That. You know what I mean? Like, people are starting to like me or love me or hate me because they think I'm gross, whatever. Then get off my page. You're not my people, because it should not be offensive. It's a package of sausage. Yes, whatever it is, so like whatever, but they're clicking it. And like just this morning, what did I tell you? I sent just 26 messages from my first story slide of people being like, Lindsay, you're insane. That's hilarious. Where do you find these things? And it's sparking up conversations, not necessarily about business, but it's staying in contact with people. Because what do I always say? Once you start getting that relationship with somebody and you're building that and building that and building that, well, what do you think it's going to turn into? Maybe a customer, maybe not, maybe a business partner, maybe not for years down the road. Because trust me, it's happened. I've been in the online business now for 3 years. And I have people who have watched me the whole 3 years. And now finally, like now people are like, all right, give me this stuff. Tell me about it. You know what I mean? But I have been consistent in staying in contact with people all of these years, constantly filtering. and getting new people into my network every day. I should be anyways. But I'm telling you, it works.
Yeah,
Story
she has that maybe we'll talk about this at the end, you guys. I'll put the link to this like board that we've created with all of our we call them show stopping stories. I'll put them in a link above this video, but like give them your like exact steps, like give them the fire of what you do. Like, so you like, I know you have a methodology to your timing. You have a methodology to like what you like tell them, give them all.
Story-wise anyways, for sure. So if you're going to start using something like your first slide to be eye-catching, and if any sort, it can be like, oh my gosh, or like something funny, or like making funny faces. It doesn't always have to be pervy. I only do that maybe a couple times a week now, I want to say. But yeah, I still
was doing like Christmas hats around Christmas, like really goofy, like ridiculous.
Dressing Lola up in Christmas stuff or like whatever. Vacation pics are always like really good, but utilize that. So if you find something or you have something, have your whole story in place to go directly behind it, right? So if they're clicking, make them click for a reason to keep seeing the rest. So like your value or your promotion or your group or your boot camp or whatever it is that like information you want people to see, utilize it immediately. Because if they click on that funny thing, but there's nothing after it, you just wasted it kind of. So have it set up, have it thought out. And what I always do is I either start my story in the mornings, well, lately it's been late afternoons. So that way it can kind of dip into the next evening as well. Because remember, stories run for 24 hours, a full 24 hours. So if I start my story right now, it will go 24 hours till tomorrow. But if you have it in sequence of importance of what you want to get out there to your audience, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And then drip in your funny stuff or your life stuff or what other things you want to share throughout the day. But then I don't recommend starting that next sequence of importance till that yesterday's is about to run out. Or let it run out. Sometimes it works to let it completely run out.
Yep.
I'm still working with that.
It keeps it, you guys, like if you go on the top of your newsfeed, like we just showed you all those little images. So what she's talking about is that first image that people are going to see on top. It's like, it's like they're all stacked. So that first image is going to be your show-stopping image that's going to suck them in. So you want that front one to be on the front as many hours as it can, like so that people yeah.
Yep, because until they click on your story, that's going to be up there. Mm-hmm. So people coming home from work, people like you'll find it's funny. Like what was it? The one, I think it was the finger one. And someone was like, dude, I've been scared to click this all day, but I couldn't help myself anymore. And she was like, this is hilarious.
It was a finger with a splinter,
but then my value was right after that, or whatever it was that I was talking about that I wanted to be out there for them to see or to hear was immediately after that. So I was able to start a conversation about that. Like, ha ha ha, I know that's super funny, but did you see what was after that about XYZ? Mm-hmm. Like you've got to take it beyond that instead of just like, because I've done it a few times back at the beginning, like, haha, isn't that funny? Or that food looked so good, didn't it? Mm-hmm. Thanks. You're not getting anywhere with that. You got to get kind of brave.
Definitely. Yes, 100%. And so tell them like next step. So you get the story up, you kind of think in your brain, right? If you can get something like, I'm using the word show stopping. It doesn't have to be pervy. It could be you, like I've done me doing this. I've done, like she said, vacation pictures. It's test and tweak, you guys.
Dog pictures, like your animals are so hot. I mean, about every other reel, at least that we're seeing right now, Instagram and Facebook, it's everyone's dogs or their pets. People are so in love with their pets. I love it, even though I can't really go through them because I freaking cry like a baby. I am a huge animal person. Yes, but like that's a big thing too, like showing your pets.
Yeah.
What she's talking about is how I connect them into my text a lot of the times, because think about it. people who follow you, you can't see people who you're not friends with on on Facebook. On Instagram, you can see everybody, right? Yes. But some of these people don't follow you, or you don't follow them. So they don't necessarily know where your Facebook is or your Instagram. Like, they're just seeing you on the platform that you happened to scroll, they happen to scroll up on you at, right? Put your text number in there. I mean, I'm assuming in this group, everybody's using Project Broadcast, correct? It's been a game changer. How Carrie said, I do all of these things. Project Broadcast has simplified everything for me. I can send one text, because like she said, I have a fairy hair like text thread, Project Broadcast, and I have one for my social media marketing, for my online business. Do you know how simple it has made it? Same number, 2 different tags though. Does that make sense? So
Dude, I love that you just said that, because back in the day, you guys, people had to have multiple cell phone numbers, multiple cell phones, a burner phone, a real phone. I don't freaking know. Right. And now, like she said, she can just do it all from one. So
I even have right here, my fairy hair cards have my Project Broadcast number on it. So normally, like in my stories, for instance, I'm running a Galentine's special. I'm doing Galentine's parties. I already have 2 booked, but I'm putting in my stories, putting in my reels, hey, $10 off, a head of fairy hair, no matter what you decide to get, text 707-723-5483, text Twinkle to this number, and we'll hook you up. I'll give you deets and details, whatever you want. Same thing with my online biz. Text video to 707-723-5483. Like, boom. Because people on TikTok, because let's be real, TikTok Messenger sucks. Like,
oh gosh, the worst.
I can't stand it. But so many people will text the Project Broadcast number. When you put those in like your reels and your TikToks and your videos, they do. They do. They really, really do.
Yeah, I agree.
It's brilliant.
And it's just like testing. You guys are going to hear me say this. It's a lot of testing and tweaking and seeing what works, right? Like, some things people are going to just automatically text you off of your stories, or they're automatically going to text you from a caption on a video or whatever. Other times they won't. Sometimes you do what Lindsay does. And this is something that I learned from her. I've taught her things, but she's equally taught me things. Back when I started like my business, I didn't used to like reach out to people on my stories. I didn't even know that that was like something you should do. And she taught me how to do it. Like, reach out, thank people for watching your stories, and just ask them if they're open to hearing about a recipe, if they're open to hearing about a product or the business or fairy hair or whatever, like she could even be doing that. Like, hey, do you know anybody in the Virginia area that's like wants to add?
Oh, absolutely. And it's not being spammy. It's like, yo, I see you watching my stuff. Like, what do you think? Have you looked into the Project 23, or would you be interested? Like, do you have period cramps? Huh. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, I forgot that we're not even like in that.
Oh, but yeah, no, it's just conversation. You're good. Like, it's just being real, being a human. 100%. Yeah, no, I love that. So
it's like so chill, because they are watching you, and they can't say that they're not. Oh no, I didn't see that. You know what I mean? Like, people aren't like that anymore. Yeah. When you're just chill and have a normal organic conversation.
Love it. Are you guys getting value from this? Like, drop your biggest takeaway, drop questions that you have. Like, Lindsay,
absolutely.
Like, she would be more than happy to help you afterwards. Like I said, we did throw together a little board with a training that she actually did a while ago. It's on the board. You could watch that. Because tell them really quick, like, didn't your views even go up like thousands? Like
10 times. 10 times. Because, and I did it as a trial. I did it on Friday, where typically anyways, I don't know about you, but typically on Fridays, you don't get very good engagement. You know what I mean? A lot of people get off work early. They go to happy hour. It's weekend. Like, they're weekending. Like, nobody, not as many people were watching my story. So I did the first thing. It was like a thumb, and it had like a splinter on the end of the thumb. And it was like, this is a crappy place to get a splinter, but it kind of looked like something else.
Like that.
10 times. 10 times my story views. And Carrie used it later, and holy crap, didn't you get like 8,000 views?
Yeah, it was insane.
Ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous. Now, Carrie has way more followers than I do, but what's normal story watchers for you?
Like on a normal day, you guys, like probably, I don't know, under 500. Like I would say, depending on what I post and what I have going on, like somewhere between like 250 and 500.
But when I've seen it, because we'll screenshot it to each other, we're like, dude, look at these story views. And she's gone between 5,000 and 8,000. Typical for me, say on Facebook, 200 to 300. But when I post something like this, like what's this? Oh, it just timed out. But I know that I was at like almost 800 on like a Monday.
Yeah, like exactly. So stories, I wanted Lindsay to come on and share. They have so much power and potential. I mean, obviously this whole boot camp is to get people, the ultimate goal is to get them on your text list. But at the end of the day, it's such just a huge conversation piece. And as you guys, you know, are learning to set all of these like automations up, and you have like your product keyword, your business keyword, you know, you're sharing like a freebie and stuff, you're just segueing people off of social. You're collecting them, you're keeping them, you're nurturing them moving forward. And it's just game changing.
I feel like it's more personal, getting them into the text list, like texting them from, I don't know why, because it's not in Facebook Messenger. Maybe it's not on like the app like that, but I feel like I get better responses and more people responding to my text messages than on Facebook.
Because it goes right to their phone, you guys.
Exactly.
Like she said, for us on this end, it's in the app. So for us, it feels like, you know, I'm working my business. But to them, like some of us, they look at us like rock stars. They look at us like, you know, these like people that are on social media. Like I could never do that. So for them to actually receive a personal text message from us, it's like kind of a cool thing, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I love
true.
it.
Yeah, it's game changing. And, you know, I hope that you got value from Lindsay coming on and just sharing some of her tips to like get people sucked in to the stories, because that's kind of what it is. Like you have to like get people sucked in to want to the next day tune into your stories for the next thing or the next thing, or to like see what you're up to and stuff, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Get people watching on you all the time and it being like, what's Lindsay up to today? Or what's that crazy chick doing later today? Or what's happened to her today? Like people seriously, and people like real life stuff. So like being perfect and pretty and all of the things are great, but being real, like getting in there and be like, bro, you want to know what just happened to me? Like, you know what I mean? Like
they love it.
Like it. Like people love reality TV, like hashtag I love reality TV. That's really all that I watch, or crime shows. I don't really watch that much TV, but if it's not something real, I'm not interested in it, to be honest. And it's the same way with movies. I like real life stuff. Yeah. And I feel like, especially nowadays, everybody pretty much does. Yeah. Especially when you're positive and you're not Debbie Downer. You know what I mean? Like when you're constantly giving out motivation and you're positive and your energy is like insane, and then you're funny and you throw like stupid pictures in to like mess with people and break up their day. Yeah. I mean,
it turns into your own little TV show, kind of. Yeah, it is fun.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, you know me, you guys, I'm short, sweet, to the point. I hope you got tons of value from this. Please drop your biggest takeaways here in the comments, or if you have any questions, I will drop above the board. I'll give you guys the board. Go and peep Lindsay.
Have fun.
Yeah, seriously, have fun with it. Let us know, like, come back in this group and let us know if you get some serious engagement, or if you have a crazy picture that people were like creating conversations with you on. Like, that's the goal, right? We are.
Or if you need help, yeah, drop it in the feed. We got you.
Go and scope her out too, please. Go and follow, give her a follow on Facebook. Check out the things that she does. She is wild, crazy, doing the hair, traveling all the time, hanging out with her pup. So we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Drop us a little hashtag replay if you do catch this later on the replay and you weren't with us live. Bye, guys.
Later.